Oro Valley, Tucson, an Arizona Lotus Corp radio station.
Do you even smart speaker, bro?
Listen on your Amazon Echo device. Alexa, play Rock 102.1 KFMA.
You say it, I'll play it.
You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Wednesday, January 17th. Good morning, Weirdo.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tucson. Thank you guys for tuning in to the show today. Got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of guests swinging by. Tickets giveaway for Bush. The way that you're going to win those tickets for Bush is you're just listening for Bush. When I play Bush, be caller number 10. It's simple as that. Also, we're going to have tickets giveaway for Smells Like Nirvana and something else. I totally forgot. On top of that, on this Wednesday, we're going to have Shane from Tucson Games and Gadgets in the studio, do another round of tap out in the 8 o'clock hour, so you can win up to $100 gift certificates to that fine establishment, so you can pick up an RPG game like Weirdo.
Yeah.
And hopefully not F up and get like the hardest one possible.
Oh my God. And cry 9 times.
Yeah, why does it make you cry?
I don't know what it is. Like, I just get like overwhelmed and I feel really dumb.
Okay.
And then like
it's out of frustration.
Kind of out of frustration. Yeah. It's just they're super complicated. Oh my God.
Fair enough. At least it's not because you were role playing and got so emotionally invested that it made you like sad and distraught.
No.
Because I would tell you to put the game down. You know, if it's an RPG game and the whole part of like role playing is role playing other people's trauma and taking on that pain, I don't know that that's a fun game to play.
No, not so much. No, it's just the scenarios. You watch like 4 half-an-hour YouTube videos on how to do it. And that's just the beginning of the game on how to play. Oh my God, it's a lot. It's fun though. Once we get into it, it's fun.
No one said it was easy to be a nerd. All right.
I know.
Let's get into the top story today. The top story today is I was right. Kind of.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, kind of. Yesterday it was announced, the lineup for Coachella was announced. Now, I understand that most of our audience listening, especially this time in the morning, can give a rat's ass. And in fact, actually, I could turn Weirdo into an owl right now.
Okay.
You ready for this? So here's some of the acts that are performing on this year's Coachella. Charlotte DeWitt.
Who?
Santa Fe Clan.
Who?
Purple Disco Machine.
Sounds fun, but who?
All right. Let's see. Suki Waterhouse.
Who? Who?
All right. Clown Cora.
Who?
Yeah, see, she turned into an owl. It's very simple as that.
None of them.
I understand, but you know what? We are kind of past that point, and Coachella is focused on the young 20-year-old crowd, right? There are a lot of people on this list. Of course, I don't recognize, but a lot of them could be electronic acts as well, pop acts, and but there are some big names on there. Like Blur is going to be a direct support of Tyler, the Creator, on Saturday night. Jungle is on there. Jungle's fantastic. In case you don't know about that, Lana Del Rey, of course, everyone knows who she is. She's going to be headlining the first night, but the big takeaway is 2 headlines in this that are pretty big. First and foremost, what I've been telling you now for months, if you've been paying attention, the reunited Sublime is on the bill for Coachella. When I say reunited Sublime, thank you. I mean Jacob Knoll, that's Bradley Knoll's son, who's performing with Bud and Eric, the original members of Sublime. So it's a legacy act. So they dropped the with Rome. Rome is doing his own thing right now, and he's okay with that publicly.
Yeah,
right.
Publicly.
Now, publicly. But the idea and the reality that Sublime as a brand and a band is now moving forward with Jacob Knoll, the son of Bradley Knoll, and he sounds just like him. He looks just like him, and they're doing a fantastic job. Now, initially, I was like, they're going to headline Coachella, but it doesn't make sense to headline Coachella, and I understand that. They're pretty close up there on the bill. They got font that I can actually read without my glasses.
Right.
So that's good for them.
Nice.
But another big takeaway, and we don't even know which day that this band is performing on, but they are performing, is No Doubt. No Doubt reunited and actually have a statement that they put together with a silly Zoom call. Listen to Gwen Stefani and the boys talk about their upcoming sets at Coachella.
Whoa.
What's up, everybody?
What are we doing here, guys? What's going on here?
Wow, that is the band right there.
What are we doing? Why do we not hang out?
We should hang out.
Maybe we should do a show.
I'll do a show.
I'm into doing a show.
Do you want to do a show?
I got to think about it. Okay. All right.
Woo!
Let's do a show.
Let's do a show.
All right, so that's it. Yeah, so I know you're excited about it.
am.
Tons of women in their 30s super excited about it. But again, does that mean they're going to flock to Coachella? I don't know.
I'm
Will
not.
the kids be excited about it? I don't know. Will they know No Doubt as a band, or they just know Gwen Stefani as Blake Shelton's baby mama or wife? And also a judge on America's Got Talent or The Voice or whatever. I don't know. I don't watch any of those shows.
Right.
But either way, that was their big draw that they're
Cool.
creating some buzz. Yeah.
So last year was Blink-182. This year will be No Doubt.
Right. Yeah.
Right. That is kind of cool, right? Like it's like in wrestling when you look forward to the Royal Rumble of like, oh, what old guy is going to come back?
Yeah.
Now Coachella, it's like, oh, which band's going to reunite?
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
It's going to be interesting to see how well they can do
Mhm.
in front of this crowd. It's a very difficult crowd, especially when you're a generation ahead. We've seen this with numerous acts over the past 15 years. It wasn't always like that. But, once Coachella started moving towards like a 3-day rave experience, legacy acts have kind of, had a hard go at it, if you will. So it'll be interesting to see if these kids get excited about No Doubt. But I think that is exciting. And you got 2 weekends, right? April 13th and April 20th. Sublime is going to be playing on 420. And No Doubt. And don't forget, No Doubt and Sublime, they go way back.
Yeah, I was about to say, would it be too deep of a track to have Gwen Stefani hop on with Brad, with his son and sing? Was it Sing Red? Was the song they did?
It's called Saw Red, and I'm going to play it for you right now just to remind you. But yes, it is not too deep of a track, and I could definitely see. All right, that was our show open this morning. Good morning, everybody. We're about to go live on the air and do some tap out here on the podcast. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. That was, of course, Chris Cornell with Patience. We are back here with Shane from Tucson Games and Gadgets. He joins us about once a month, usually on Tuesdays. Yeah. Today we're doing it on Wednesday.
Special.
Yeah, we're going to play a little round of tap out. As you know, this is a game where you can win up to $100 in gift certificates. All you have to do is answer 5 trivia questions in a row. Now, you could win by playing the game, or you can win just by listening and be a scavenger, because whoever our contestant is, whoever answers that first question correctly, if they can't answer all 5 questions, whatever we have left over will go to random callers at 600 KFMA 600-5362. Are you a fan of The Office, Shane?
I've certainly watched the entire thing, probably 2-3 times maybe, because the kids watched it, and I've definitely seen it.
Absolutely. So I figured this trivia would be pretty lined up with a lot of people out there, know a thing or two about the hit TV series from the 2000s, The Office. So if you feel like you know a thing or two about The Office, get ready to call right now, 600 KFMA 600-5362. We'll start off with caller number 10. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tap Out.
The only game where you can quit and win. Think you have what it takes to last 5 rounds? Let's find out. Beef Vegan presents Tap Out.
All right, starting with the callers. First person who can answer the first question correctly within 5 seconds is going to be our contestant. Let's go to the phone and see what we got here. Rock 102.1, who's this?
This is Billy.
All right, Billy. If you could answer this first question correctly within 5 seconds, you're going to be our contestant and also score yourself a $20 gift certificate to Tucson Games and Gadgets, good for any of their 3 locations: the Anthem Mall, the Park Place Mall, and the Tucson Mall. Look at all that. Memorized.
Let's go.
Shane's going to ask the question. Shane, you ready?
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, Billy, what is the name of the paper company where the characters work?
Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah.
It's an easy one.
So easy. So
Softball.
easy. Yes, absolutely. Now, each question progressively gets harder. Who wants to be a millionaire style? So good luck. Here's your $40 question.
All right. Who is known for their love of beets and bears in the series?
Dwight Schrute.
That's it.
Yeah. Now, Billy, are you a super fan of The Office?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many times
you say that.
Yeah, how many times do you think you've seen the season all the way through? Shane just said he did it about 3 times.
I've never seen it all the way through. Actually, I watched it almost all the way through once, and then I watched it almost all the way through again with my daughter.
Okay, so at least twice.
But I've never seen the end of it. Yeah.
Oh, spoiler alert! Everybody dies.
Damn it, Beef.
All right, here is your $60 question. 5 seconds on the clock will begin when Shane finishes asking it. Here we go.
All right, Billy, what is the name of Michael Scott's self-proclaimed world's best boss mug supplier?
Tap out.
There it is. Tap out.
That is a good call.
Is a difficult question for sure. I didn't know it at first either. Had to do a Google check to make sure that was correct as well. Go ahead and give Billy the answer there, Shane.
Bob Vance from Vance Refrigeration.
That's right. He is the supplier.
Oh,
so
dang.
I know. Hey, Billy, you still got yourself $40 in gift certificates to Tucson Games and Gadgets, which is also good for the Short Rest Tavern right there in the back of the Tucson Mall location. That, of course, is the speakeasy that they have inside the store. Dungeons and Dragons season's about to kick off this week, and you can get all that information at their events calendar at TucsonGamesandGadgets.com. So with that, you got 2 gift certificates with a grand total of $40. That means we have 3 $20 gift certificates to give away to our scavengers. Billy, what are the numbers that you're going to throw out for us to give to our callers? Give me 3 numbers between 1 and 10.
6, 7, 8.
6, 7, 8. All right. Callers number 6, 7, and 8. Go ahead and give me a call right now. Keep calling at 600 KFMA, and you're going to score a $20 gift certificate courtesy of Billy and be one of our scavengers. So there you go.
You're welcome, guys.
Yeah. All right. We're going to hit the reset on the FM side. We'll have more coming up after Seether, but we're keeping the conversation moving. YouTube.com/BeFegan. The podcast broadcast is live. All right. So I did all that. I'm going to get Billy's information and get our scavengers. So if you want to be a scavenger, call now and keep calling. Earlier this morning, we did ourselves a segment about be careful what you wish for. And it's called He's Got Legs. And in case you missed it, went a little something like this. Check it out. On KFMA, it's Beefy Presents Weirdo. When you were single, what's the shortest that you would date as far as men is concerned? Because I know that you date women as well. So, like, what's the shortest that you would say, okay, that's my deal breaker, or anything under this height?
5'10".
5'10"? Really?
Yeah.
That's insane. And see,
I'm sure.
Look, you know what? But you're not alone on this. You know, women definitely look at height as a deal breaker. They all want somebody, they want their tall king.
Yes.
And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this gives guys a complex that really affects them for their entire life. And they're willing to go to extreme measures to not be that short person. Some people develop like little man syndrome and, you know, they get super aggressive and it definitely impacts their personality. There was one Brazilian influencer who's 5'8", good looking kid, had a beautiful girlfriend, still has a beautiful girlfriend for the time being. But he again was only 5'8", and this bugged him. So after like getting a ton of money through being an influencer, he ended up spending $175,000 to grow from 5'8" to 6 feet tall.
Wow, 4 inches.
Yes, 4 inches, you know, and that magic number, 6 foot. Now, of course, you know, if you're thinking to yourself, man, that sounds painful. You're absolutely right. It's the most painful procedure that you could even imagine because they're elongating your bones and in a way. They break them, they break your legs, and they put rods in and they stretch you. I mean, it's excruciating.
Yeah.
And this kid who's 29 years old had this limb lengthening surgery, which involved breaking his legs and planting metal rods and slowly stretching him 4 months ago. Now, the rods have slowly pulled his bones apart to stretch him, but he says the pain has become so bad, he feels like he's going to collapse and he's desperate to take the rods out. It's one of those scenarios where you have to be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. And
right?
how long does this procedure take? Because, right, like it's not in one shot, right?
No, I mean, I think it may be several surgeries, but then it's the healing. The surgeries were done. Right. And here's I'm showing a picture you'll see on the podcast broadcast when I replay this of this influencer with his beautiful girlfriend again. And this kid like worked out. He's buff, good looking, 5'8". Honestly, like we're all the same height laying down when it comes down to it. And this girl either didn't care or liked everything he presented except for his height, and then pushed this man to to basically ruin his life. Because I don't know if there's any coming back from this, because he doesn't see an end in sight as far as the pain going away as you're seeing this surgery. But this is something that you can actually do. And they break the femur in half at surgery, use handheld electromagnetic devices to lengthen the rod at home. So he has to basically torture himself every day. And then the bone tissue is created between the gap in the bone, lengthening by millimeters. Now, here's the problem, though. You might get super long legs, but then your arms aren't going to match up.
Right. It does feel a little like disproportional.
Right.
Damn.
I know. See,
he's a good looking dude. I would get rid of the role for him.
Well, it's too late.
Yeah, too late. Yeah, right.
Yeah. You see, this is the thing, though. And that's the part. So you're looking at a picture where he's shirtless. He's showing off his 6-pack abs and tattoos. And the guy's swole, right? Definitely does a lot of protein. All right. Now, with that, though, even this guy, who technically on the surface can get any woman he wants, still felt inadequate enough to spend $175 to get a couple inches taller. Yeah. Just imagine, like all the guys out there, if they had the money, what they'd be able to do. And this is why I feel like the conspiracy theory is they know how to make penises larger as far as surgeries are concerned. But they're not going to do it for protection of women out there, women everywhere. Because if they made basically a penis enhancement surgery, like breast enhancement, so easily available, so many women out there would regret ever making a small peener joke, because guys would not go to 6 to 7 inches and make it reasonable. They would go to 14 to 16 inches and try to smash everything, so be careful what you wish
terrifying.
For. Yeah. Be afraid. Be very afraid. All right. Speaking of which, so we got music on the way from Natural Born Killer. Actually, it's highly suspect. Rock on 2.1 KFMA.
At least not from east to west, because I have been stuck here for 10 minutes. I don't know what it is, but there's something that is stopping traffic.
Really? It's not like a train or anything? Now, Lisa, I'm glad that I'm happy that you gave me the update, and it sucks that you're stuck in traffic, and I want to reward you by giving you a $20 gift certificate to Tucson Games and Gadgets, because called.
Yeah, but I don't want to have to drive all the way up there to pick it up. So
don't do it. Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, I'll let our traffic.
You should let people know.
I will. I'll pass that on to our traffic reporter, and hopefully she'll report that on the next traffic break.
Okay, good, because I've been stuck here forever.
I'm so sorry. Well, hopefully you're enjoying the music while you're stuck, and then our games.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I finally see it. I don't know what it is. Okay, I gotta go. Bye.
Okay, so you're not.
That was ominous.
The music.
That was ominous.
What the hell was that, man?
I'm very concerned about the
traffic. Okay.
It's aliens.
Yeah, well, welcome.
I don't want to drive over there. This drive sucks.
Right. So just to recap for people on the stream being like, what the hell's going on? First, I had issues with my promo suite and getting Billy's information. So it took me longer than anticipated. So essentially, it took so long that Scavenger stopped calling. And then I thought, okay, I got a Scavenger right here. I answer the phone line. It's Lisa, just to tell me about her traffic problems.
Right.
That she's been stuck in traffic. And I was like, hey, well, you got this $20 gift certificate. She's basically like, no, don't want it. And then I'm like, well, at least, hopefully you're enjoying the music. And I don't even think she's listening to this show.
I don't know.
Or a station or anything.
I'm pretty sure she called other stations after this to tell them about.
No, she finally saw the end. Didn't know what it was, but she had to go.
Well, I know she's a KFMA listener because she gave me her name and it pulled up in the system, and now she has a $20 credit to her name that she doesn't even want. So It's so
She
odd.
also sounded real mad about giving you her last name.
I would be too if I just wanted to give a traffic update, but I was accepting and expecting scavengers to call in. So this whole last 5 minutes has been confusing to say the very least. We made it through, and I still have to give out gift certificates for our scavengers, which I will. Anything that we won't get to, I'll give to tomorrow. Somebody's calling right now. So Rock 102.1, who's this? Jeremy, what's up? Did you want to be a scavenger?
Yes, I do.
All right, good. You could be you could take Lisa's. Let's see.
Do you have a traffic update?
Yeah. Tell me where you at on the roads and how that's annoying you. Jeremy, what's your last name?
Franco.
And that's spelled like James Franco?
Yeah, just like that.
All right. Let's see. Looks like hold on. I don't want to give out all your information on my stream because we're live on the podcast right now. And I want to assume that I can get this going here. Things aren't really cooperating with me today, in case you couldn't tell. Jeremy, you've won before, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, pick up a $20 gift certificate here at the station Monday through Friday. You got it?
All right, gotcha.
All right, thanks, Jeremy. Congratulations. We'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it.
All right, no worries.
Oh,
We're back on Rock 102.1 KFMA. What do you say now?
Just what's up, Tucson on Twitter. I think I know what the heck she was just passing. Aviation Highway and 22nd Street, and cop car looks mangled.
Okay, so cop car accident, and that's what's slowing things down.
I think
we
so.
had a listener call in, kind of tie up our lines. Her name's Lisa, and she actually won to be a scavenger. She got a $20 gift certificate that she doesn't even want. She just wanted to report that she's been stuck having to listen to our show because of this car accident on Ajo. Hopefully nobody's seriously injured, right?
This cop car's totaled. So yeah, Aviation Highway and 22nd.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, you're taking Elaine's job now, so but that is.
I don't want to do that.
I know. We're back here live on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Of course, there's your traffic update. Let me give you two quick stories that have to do with one another in a weird way. There's a man who has no fear of spiders whatsoever, and I feel like I know this for a fact because he has collected more than 700 pet tarantulas. And he did so because he says it's good for his mental health. Now, you're shaking your head no, weirdo.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I've raised tarantulas. I've had up to about 20, 25 at a certain time.
Really? So is that when
No.
you, at what point do you stop raising tarantulas? Like, where you're like, that's enough tarantulas for me?
I eventually traded a lot of mine away or gave them to other tarantula keepers just because they're easy pets. They're like fish, but less upkeep. You just put them, you got to clean the cage like once a year. They don't do much.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just cool to look at and do their thing. You feed them some crickets here and there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, most female tarantulas live 25 to 40 years. So it's a huge commitment.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
know.
the males live about a year to 18 months.
Damn,
and the females live
damn.
30 some years. So I've had one for 12 years, for instance. So I mean, they just live a long time.
Did you get attached to her?
She was cool because it was a Goliath bird eater. So it was what technically is the biggest spider on earth. So it grew to about the size of a dinner plate.
Damn, man.
Yeah, they can eat birds.
Jesus, that's terrifying. So, okay, do the tarantulas, the male tarantulas die after they mate, and
Yes,
then
they
the female
basically-
tarantula kills them?
They don't kill the males, not like black widows.
Okay.
They just go out, do their mating, and then just die.
Wow. Like, it's so good that they're just game over, right? Like, imagine,
Wow.
like, I've had some pretty good orgasms in my day, right? None worth dying over, though. Imagine,
Did you have any that made you feel like you were going to die, though?
I mean, sometimes I get a little winded.
Right.
And so I got to,
That does happen.
yeah, I have to pray. But no, I mean, I have to assume that for the male tarantula, it's got to be the most amazing. And I would hope so,
Yeah.
Right, 'cause it sounds like it's one shot and
Yeah,
done.
they've lived their entire life for that, basically.
Right. And I feel like
Amazing.
light balances it out like that, right? To make it fair. Like, hey, tarantula, you're going to be on this planet for a short amount of time, but and your only objective is to chase that nut. But what I'll do in return is make it the most unbelievable thing ever. So you're going out literally with a bang. Well, the reason why I bring that up is because a lot of people out there have a fear of spiders, right? And Shane's not one of them, obviously. But a new study in Germany found that curing a fear of spiders can simultaneously cure your fear of heights as well, or at least help. Now, they worked with 50 people, researchers did anyways, who had phobias of both. And they didn't address heights. They just wanted to help them with their fear of spiders. So they used exposure therapy, which is probably the most terrifying therapy you can get, right? Oh, you're afraid of spiders? Here's a spider.
There's a spider in your face.
Okay, so by the end, they were less afraid of spiders than they were before. But the weird part was they were also less afraid of heights, an average of 15% less afraid. Now, multiple phobias are common. Most people who are afraid of one thing are afraid of many different things. They call it little bitchitis. But until now, experts thought that each one required a separate treatment. Now,
I'm finally glad to have a diagnosis.
I feel like a fear of spiders and a fear of heights are sort of like both deeply rooted biological fears, right? Like we've gotten that. Like I thought they had proven that a fear of spiders is pretty normal because of the fact that our ancestors, they
died.
They learned that this is dangerous, these little bitty things. And so it's sort of a built-in fear that's harder, that's why it's so common.
Yeah.
And I feel like heights is the same thing. So I feel like if you went through therapy for one, of course it would work for the other because they're addressing the same root cause.
Yeah.
Which is our, old biological fears that are there for a reason.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Shane dropping the wisdom.
Well, that code gets passed in your DNA, right? So previous ancestors' experiences and stuff. And a lot of people believe like, oh, in a previous life, did I die this way? And,
Yeah, but I have both those fears of spiders and heights. Like, I don't like going in a building above the second story. Like inside, I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
I know exactly what that is. So in a previous life, because you live multiple lives, you especially because you're kind of witch-like. So in a previous life, you got bit by a spider on top of a tall building and fell off that building. Yeah. So Chris Platt,
pain and poison and then splat.
Yes.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, but you can overcome both of them at the same time, and that way you could cure your little bitchitis. So good luck to you on that. We're going to keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. We're going to be joined by Chris and Dominik from the Sports Experience podcast. Shane, thank you so much for coming in as always.
Thank you guys.
Now, of course, Tucson Games and Gadgets, they're kicking off their D&D season that you could be a part of, and that's at all 3 locations. You can find out more information in the events calendar at TucsonGamesandGadgets.com. Anything else we want to touch on?
I think we're good. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Fun like always.
Yeah, we're going to have more fun, so stick around or join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. Awesome. Excellent job,
Beautiful.
Shane.
Thank you guys
so much.
I appreciate it as always.
Of course.
Sorry, I was a day late.
Ah, you're good.
Day late, dollar short. Story of our lives.
All right.
All right, y'all. Have a great day.
Yes, you too. All right, we're gonna play a clip from earlier. I'm gonna get Dominik and Chris all set up. And earlier this morning, we did F My Life, and it was a good one. In case you missed it, it went a little something like this. Check it out. Oh, I gotta click that first.
Did you get caught self-loving by your mom?
Awkward. It is awkward. Did you do something that got you fired from your job?
I just get stupid.
It's fun being stupid. Don't hide this in vain. Let us laugh at your pain. Call 600-KFMA right away.
I promise we won't embarrass you.
Because Beef Vegan presents F My Life. F My Life. F My Life.
Yes, it's time for another edition of your F My Life. These are important situations. Email to me at beefvegan@kfma.com, subject line FML. But of course, if you have an F My Life you care to share on the air, you do so by giving us a call at 600-KFMA at 600-5362. Weirdo and I agree with your life is theft. We'll hook you up with tickets for Smells Like Nirvana, performing at 191 Tool. And F My Life is brought to you by McDonald's. Save, skip, and savor in your morning mantra. Save with McDonald's, 2 for $5 mix and match featuring a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle. Skip the hassle on the McD app and savor the tasty breakfast. Prices and participations may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price. A lot of stuff going on with McDonald's. I usually just like, brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Done.
But yeah. Woo! All right, first up my life. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. This is sent to me by Chris. Chris said, last week I ran into my father.
Okay.
He was drunk and singing in the street at 1:25 in the afternoon.
Your dad's just out there living his best life. Leave him be. He raised you. He earned it.
I don't know. Sounds like his dad is homeless, not living his best life. You know, you ever go up to somebody without a home and be like, YOLO, aren't you living your best life?
Like, he did not give that in the context.
All right, fair enough. Well, I assume so. So I'm going to say F my life, Chris, but we'll agree to disagree, move forward. Gabriel sent me this next email, and he said, yesterday I walked by my roommate and his girlfriend while they were hugging. I asked, what's up, lovebirds? Turns out they were in the middle of a breakup. Oh, timing is impeccable. F my life, what do you say?
Yeah, because it sounds like something I would do.
I know. I mean, it looks like they're loving, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right, next F my life email sent to me by Sharon. Sharon said, I recently introduced my friend to a show I really like. I told her that I'm only about halfway through the second season, but she should check it out since she's on leave from work. She decided to binge watch every available episode, then text me multiple spoilers.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, it's a terrible friend, right?
Yeah. That's not a friend anymore.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Especially since you gave her a heads up. So is that enough my life for Sharon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rude.
I agree. Even though I'm not too upset about spoilers, to be honest with you.
No, I'm not either, but you're like trying to share this because you're like super excited and you're actually like letting yourself be surprised. And then she ruined it.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Two more left. Santiago sent me this email, beefvegan@kfma.com, and he said, I realized I had a bad month. Last week, I threw out my back. The week before, my girlfriend got a cold sore. And this week, I got chicken pox at the ripe age of 31 years. When I went to bed last night, I found my girlfriend sound asleep with her vibrator in one hand. And we haven't had sex for so long, I can't even blame her.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's heavy. From Santiago. Is that enough my life?
Just the chicken pox at 31 alone, that can make you very sick.
Yeah. No.
So that's rough, my dude.
Yeah, you could at least just said that. And I'm even going to ignore the fact that your girlfriend got a cold sore and you guys haven't had sex in a long time and she might be cheating on you. So F your life on that. Sorry, I guess that's an extreme thought. She's probably not, Santiago. I'm sure it's fine. But if you see any of her friends, mutual guy friends that recently got over chicken pox, you might want to be suspicious. All right, final F my life of the day sent to me by Dominik. Dominik said, the other day I got pulled over, not because I was speeding, but apparently I looked like a kid driving. The officer said I was too short to drive and needed a booster seat. Oh.
I need a booster seat.
Well, I don't think you're that short, but for Dominik, he's a dude. Is that enough my life?
Yeah. Oh, getting pulled over and then roasted by a cop. Not fun.
Yeah, insult to injury. Hopefully you didn't get a ticket, but still, F my life. Keep those F my lives coming. beefvegan@kfma.com. And if we read yours on the air, you might even win a prize. With that said, you are listening for Bush to be played this hour, because when you do, you want to be caller number 10 to win tickets for their greatest hits tour called Loaded before they go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. I'm giving you this reminder because I'm going to play that Bush song before 8 a.m. this morning, so keep it right here on Rock 102.1. All right, we are back here live on the podcast broadcast, playing Red Hot Chili Peppers on the FM side as we normally do around this time. Please welcome back our in studio very special guests. You remember them from being our comedians of our Tucson Roadrunners Comedy Night, as they came in. They're also co-hosts of a podcast that you can subscribe to on YouTube called The Sports Experience. And I'll show that page in a little bit. We got Chris and Dominik. Good morning, guys.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having us.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming back, dude. You guys killed it on the Roadrunners Comedy Night, last year, and been meaning to have you on for a while now. And what was that experience like for you? Because it was a weird setup, because we did have a bunch of people in the room who were just waiting for the raffle.
Well, it was way better than we expected. I remember we were talking about it before. We were like, we have no idea how many people are going to be in there. And it was actually like a really good show. And we both had really good sets. And I was like, that was awesome.
Yeah, you both killed it. And it was still like a clean comedy set too. For the most part, it was like adult humor, but not dropping hard F-bombs or anything like that.
Exactly.
But yeah, I thought your crowd work was great. You're opening up, you even talking sports, and had some good sports jokes in there that really resonated with the crowd. But yeah, I wasn't envious by any means, because yes, it was a great crowd. about 200 people packed in there, right?
Yeah.
And then a bunch of people standing, right? Standing room only. Those people were, just waiting for the raffle. And that was difficult to overcome their little side chatter.
Yep.
But to still be able to own the room and make them pop and through the set, it was impressive. And I think everyone on that bill actually slaughtered it. So the feedback was great.
It was definitely a great show overall. Like it was, like I said, it was surprising because we had no idea what it was going to be. So yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Total mystery, but I was just like, this is going to be fun regardless. We're at a hockey game and then we get to tell jokes afterwards. Like this made my night.
Yeah. Yeah. And didn't we do an on ice game too?
Oh yeah.
That was fun.
Yep. That I spilled. I also, during the game, I was like, all right, you can't drink as many beers as you normally drink. You have to perform after this. So that was that kind of consciousness. So yeah, it was definitely a great night.
That's good that you showed a little bit of responsibility though, because you're like, yeah, I'm getting paid too. So I guess, I could only be heavily buzzed, but not drunk.
Exactly. And I know where that is, which is, 3 to 6.
I can play an ice game, but I can't drive the Zamboni legally.
Yeah.
Pulled over.
Yes.
Get a ZUI.
Right. Now, of course, you guys have been comedians for a while now. Where you guys been gigging the past couple months, staying busy or kind of like laying low through the holidays?
I've been doing the same. I do all the comedy at the screening room. So I have a bunch of shows there. I have one on like February 10th, if anyone wants to come out for that.
Nice.
And yeah, just kind of keeping it consistent and not getting rusty, because definitely during this time of year, you're just like, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah,
So,
I know. And that's the industry as a whole too. I mean, they're just now starting to get back to work to where emails are starting to get responded to. But when you're in the music industry or entertainment industry at all, if you send anything on December 1st, don't expect to hear anything until January 15th. Legitimately. In fact, actually, you'll be lucky if they respond after Thanksgiving. Like the more successful, the longer that holiday break is.
That's awesome. Yeah, I wish I was more successful and I could take an entire month off
someday.
Yeah,
someday. Now, of course, you guys do a comedy podcast. Oh, so with what's been the latest like storyline here and the beginning of the year in the world of sports that's been the funniest to you?
Well, our podcast is more of like a look back at like an individual sports figure or like a really good game or like something like that. So we don't really do like current stuff necessarily.
Okay, that's good.
But a current one, I don't know, the Cowboys losing. That was
Cowboys losing was pretty.
We love that.
That's always funny.
Yes,
that's in our intro, right?
It is. So
yeah. So here's some of the podcasts that you have here on there. So where are you guys filming this? Is that a bar?
No. My friend has a recording studio. It's I don't know if you know the skate shop, the Blocks. It's underneath that. It's called Angle Studio.
Nice.
And he does like music recording, and he lets us go in and do it when he has like open time. So it's technically like a full recording studio, but it definitely is a basement downtown. So
nice. Yeah. Because it looked like it looks like the Owls Club, where
yes, all those have the almost exact same basements.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's right around there.
Oh, that's a trip. Yeah, nice. So you talked about in episode 203, the draft. What draft were you talking about?
Oh, that was the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Nice. That was fun. So that was one of our we went like live with it, and we just went through all the players that were coming out. That was actually one of our best ones, if I say.
Oh, totally. No, it was a lot of fun just drinking beers and just watching it transpire and just our own funny commentary and banter back and forth.
Yeah. Nice. Well, we'll pull up a clip of that here in a little bit. We have a lot of stuff that we're going to cover on the podcast, including some OnlyFans stuff, because I know that's kind of sports related because it's a game.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a competition as well.
It is.
Somebody's calling right now. Rock 1 2.1. Who's this? Hello. Yo, you're on the air. I can hear you. I technically can't hear you, but I definitely know somebody's on the line right now. All right. Well, thanks for that call. All right. So that's how we do live.
Yep.
Let me share this. Have you guys seen Saltburn yet?
No, my friend said it's pretty wild though.
It is absolutely wild. And, there's been a couple of things that I've watched this year already that has been what the fuck all the way through. And I do a pretty good job of kind of like joking through absurd scenarios. Like when I'm watching Saltburn or any kind of movie that's kind of like a B movie, I'll scream out something that is definitely not going to happen in a million years, right? Just because it's going to be something stupid. So without spoilers, there's a scene in Saltburn that the main character, the guy with the murderous eyes, who played the Joker and Batman,
Okay.
Barry Keoghan or something, right? He has very weird eyes. He's a very weird blend. Like he looks like he's a Caucasian Korean. Right, like he has like Asian eyes in a way. You'll see. I'll show you pictures of this guy.
Yeah.
But there's a scene where he's at a grave, right, and he looks like he's mourning in a grave at a grave in the rain. And I said jokingly, like, "Oh, he's gonna fuck that grave," because I think I have Tourette's or something, right? I think I have something that's like wrong with me. And normally in most situations, I'd be wildly wrong, right? But this is the one time that I was 100% correct.
And he starts fucking that grave.
He starts fucking a grave, dude. And the reason why I bring this up here is I'll show you a picture of the scene. This is absurd and obscene. This is the scene from Saltburn of the lead character. Now, this is just before he took his dick out and penetrated the dirt.
I heard there was a lot of full frontal.
There was some, and he's packing heat. Dude.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
Thunder Gun Express.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, in fact, that's a big buzz talking point on the internet is this dude's giant wang, and it's just a weird balance. This kid, because he's like 30 years old now, Barry Keoghan, and you could tell he was the type of guy that kind of grew up and was not like necessarily a great looking dude, but kind of like aged like wine,
like glowed up.
Yeah, and now he's like peaking. And he's got these weird eyes that are so weird, they're kind of like mesmerizing, and he's got a giant wing. So this guy's in demand.
It's like, ladies, my dong is down here.
Okay, so hold on. So, like, as pervy as I can be,
yes,
with full frontal male nudity, like the only time I've really seen it has been like Game of Thrones.
Okay,
right, and that was flaccid.
Yes.
In this case, like, is there like rules where like it has to be flaccid? Like, can it be hard? Like, does that then go into pornographic? Like, I'm confused.
Well, I mean, technically, unless it's satire, you can't necessarily have an erect penis in film.
No.
Yeah, it's always got to be flaccid for it not to be NC-17, unless it's like a comedy, like say Scary Movie, and it's like a hard penis going into somebody's ear, and then you're like PG-13.
Oh my god, I forgot about that freaking scene.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because you're saying like he's about to whip out his penis, and then so I was like, so that weird like, is there like rules? Like, I mean, how does the rating system work on this?
And this is not a pun or a joke on his length, but it was a long shot, so you don't see. You don't see it close up, but you definitely get what's going on.
The assumption is there.
Well, he has a big hog and it's flaccid. That's the other thing. So you're just like, oh, geez.
Do we really need to make
it
hard?
He's a shower.
I know.
He's a shower. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's a shower and a destroyer. But so this scene, since it's so iconic for some, and people are really getting very passionate about this film, that one woman actually went viral because she got this exact scene tattooed on her. This is the tattoo.
God. That's terrible.
Yeah, her name's Cheyenne, and she calls this clip beautiful and poetic, and led her to contact her tattoo artist friend to go ahead and get that. And there's Cheyenne right there.
It's probably not the strangest thing tattooed on her body.
Right, there you go. No.
Par for the course.
Yep. Yes, very true. Hold on, let's get on the air. Rock 102.1 KFMA. I just want to welcome our in-studio guests for the podcast broadcast. They're co-hosts of the Sports Experience podcast on YouTube as well. We got Chris and Dominik, who are also hilarious comedians as well. So we have a lot to cover, including games and some headlines that we're going to go with you. But we're going down the rabbit hole of this tattoo girl who's hot in a trashy way.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Who got the Saltburn tattoo? Now, Weirdo, with all your tattoos on you, would you ever like get this tattoo?
Get something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, because the more I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, it does seem poetic, right? Like, because if you don't know the context of the movie, it'd just be like, oh, somebody who's mourning, or it's like a tribute tattoo or something like that. But
well, what we're talking about as far as the scene, it's the Saltburn scene where the lead, Barry Keoghan, basically makes love to a grave, a pile of dirt. And this is the first time in cinematic history in my memory. And I've watched pretty much all sex scenes or at least seen clips of them on the internet.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying he buries his Keoghan?
Nice.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the wheeze laugh.
He got his rocks off, you know? Huh? Any other dirty, sexy puns we could do about this real quick? Oh, be great. All right. We're going to keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. More with Chris and Dominik Weirdo after the Offspring on Rock 102.1 KFMA, so don't go away. All right, clear. Yeah. So, but yeah, what is like? I got to figure out the mystery that is Barry Keegan's like origin.
Yeah,
like,
his heritage is.
It's 23andMe.
Yeah, because I was about to say when you had like kind of slid over to that and went back, I was like, I thought it was what's his name from The Flash? What's the Ezra Miller? He almost looks like Ezra Miller a little bit.
Yeah, he's the only one in 23andMe that have all 23 in him.
Hey, right.
You know,
and he's Irish too, right?
Yeah, he's Irish. And then Crazy Eyes. Are you looking it up right now?
Yeah,
Dom?
I'm looking it up. Yeah.
So wait, an Irish accent comes out of that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. She looks like her nickname is Saltburn.
Yes.
Oh, totally.
It's her burlesque name.
Yes. Or bath salt.
Right.
She's still cute though. I mean, I would.
Let's see.
She would get me into trouble for sure. So
28 years old. Just imagine, like, if in a situation, say Barry Keegan is around the same age, right? Say he meets his girls, oddly, right? And like she says, "Hey, I have a tattoo of you on me," and then she's into him. If you were Barry Keegan, would you still sleep with a girl who has you tattooed on them, or is that a massive red flag right off the bat?
I might do it and then slap my own ass on her shoulder, wherever it is. Yes, that's me.
Would you finish on yourself, or is that gay?
No, because it's
that's
yourself.
a tribute.
Yeah,
The tribute. I volunteer as
I play
tribute.
I play with my own wiener. I'm not gonna say that's gay.
That's true. Yes.
You're gonna finish on yourself.
I think it just depends on the quality of the tattoo. If she really went for it, then it's like, you know what? Out of respect.
Yeah.
Out of respect
for the artist.
I give my literal blessing. Yeah, this is a discussion we had because like I just got a Wednesday Addams portrait tattoo. And I'm like, oh, it's
nice.
Christina Ricci. And like, you know, then we started talking about like celebrities that have reacted to like portrait tattoos and stuff. I was like, how would that be like if, I don't know, one of my family members like, I'm getting a portrait of Weirdo. It's like, I don't know if I'd want to see that. Right? Because if it's like, you kind of think it looks bad, but everybody's like, oh my God, it's like perfect likeness. It's like, oh, thanks.
That's what I look like.
Crap.
I didn't know I had two lazy eyes.
Right, exactly. Where'd that extra third dimple come from?
Yeah.
Why am I naked?
I want to shout out or Alana. She's on the stream, so she's saying hi to you. Quinn
cool.
and
What's
Dom.
up? Hey,
everyone else, and I like Brian said drum weirdo Robin Nash. What's that?
Okay, so yeah, somebody was like, "Hey, when are we gonna get a KFMA calendar with drum and weirdo?" And I was like, "Oh, it's for sure happening, but it's Beef, Powers, Valdez, and Toad."
Yeah, for sure. Well, Rico, we'll cut Powers out of that equation.
Okay.
But you know the Valdez, you know, for the month of May, that's everyone's asking for that one. All right, let's get on the air. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We're hanging out here with Chris, Quinn, and Dominik. Your name's too Italian to say. What is your last name?
Ditola.
See, Ditola. Along with Weirdo, of course. Now, Chris and Dominik, they co-host a YouTube podcast that's also on Spotify called The Sports Experience. Now, we do a YouTube podcast as well. And to find a niche and grow an audience on YouTube is a very difficult thing, right? But it's really all about finding that niche. And I say this because there's a story that went viral yesterday that involved a university chancellor from Wisconsin. Now, he had a niche, okay? His niche was vegan cooking.
I saw this morning at work.
Yes.
New York Post. Oh, my gosh.
Yes. So it's a vegan cooking with his wife. His wife, he's been married to for many years. She's an attractive older lady, and they like to do videos of vegan recipes. And their recipes do look delicious. But what's the angle, right? I mean, obviously, cooking is cooking. And there's plenty of vegan chefs out there. How is this going to make a difference? Well, what they did was they involved porn stars and adult film actors to be participants in their YouTube cooking series. But it didn't stop there, because for an extra $9.99 a month, you could also subscribe to their OnlyFans and other like paid programs and platforms for the full frontal edition and straight up porn version of this vegan cooking show. Now, This is a chancellor from the University of Wisconsin. The reason why this is going viral is because people found this out, and now it's very controversial, and he's lost his job over it.
In a state that's all about cheese, how could you do that? I mean, come on now.
To be vegan?
Yes, exactly.
I know.
Well, this is my first entry into being vegan. So if this is where it goes, I'm in.
Yeah.
You got to keep an open mind, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, now Joe Gao and his wife is named Carmen Wilson, and they actually had full videos on Pornhub and everything. And I say had because as I was researching his story yesterday, all those videos were pulled down, unfortunately. Yeah, so you can't search.
You gotta
sexy.
pay for that stuff now.
Now, does the wife and husband get down and dirty, or is it just the porn stars?
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
Yes, they get down and dirty. So
because he's giving me daddy vibes.
Yes. Now, Joe Gao, who is vegan, who is an attractive silver fox, if you will, and one of those tall, skinny guys. So, he's probably like a tripod. And again, I didn't do the research on the videos, but they were up and they were very proud about this. In fact, this guy, if I showed you the picture that you're seeing on the podcast broadcast right now, and I told you that one of them was a porn star, it would be very difficult for you to pinpoint which one.
Exactly.
I was going to say, he's in a right sleazy kind of mode where you're like, you're a businessman, but you are a dirtbag.
You are the product of a key party in the 70s.
Right.
God bless you.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So he's the University of Wisconsin lacrosse chancellor who's 63 years old, was suspended in late December after explicit videos that he made with his wife and the porn star guest came to light. So it was an angle that not only were they getting these porn stars to participate in their cooking, but then afterwards we're like, hey, you want to keep the camera on and get naked? And they're just like, yeah, because that food was delicious.
Did anyone ask how the food tasted?
It looks like it tasted pretty
that's
good.
What I mean, like, kudos to you, sir.
Yes, for having a great angle.
Well, and also, like, how did they, why aren't they just standing by it, right? Like, did they not think that this would get found out by their friends? Like,
well, here's the thing. They have lost a lot of friends over this. They're upset about it. But here's a little clip from their cooking show.
More
Check it out.
exciting, that juicy scene we did, or this pizza?
I don't know. That pizza looks extremely delicious, but I have to say, you guys look extremely delicious too.
Thank you. All right, it's time to cut the pie and give it a try.
All right.
Man, they have writers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
You know what?
That's gonna be.
they burned it.
That's
It's still vegan cheese. Terrible.
I just love the
It doesn't
music fading in.
Well, I did that. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
The remix. I was like, it needs a little soundtrack.
Trying something totally different on pizza.
Yeah. Now, here's another thing. As you guys know, you can do a video podcast. I do a video podcast. I mean, it's like to get the resources, webcams and stuff like that. It all takes money. They have like a multi-camera setup, editors, and the whole nine.
Well,
So
I imagine they made a good amount of money if it's so popular.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it came out in their circles, I imagine, because OnlyFans, you can see them making a lot of money on that. So
it's true. It is a niche market. Food and sex, both things that people enjoy thoroughly. And when you combine the two, even when it's vegan,
we know it's trouble. George Costanza, taught us that years ago. So
Well, and being vegan is expensive. Like, you have to have money to
gotta
be
be
true
bougie.
vegan
Yeah.
and bougie. So yeah, somebody could afford the $10 a month.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that's expensive, try paying for like a professional whore to be in your cooking video. That's
They
gonna
don't come
add
cheap.
to the cost. No, not at all. I guarantee you, none of these volunteered. You know,
that
so,
bottom line is just going up and up. So,
which is great about this chancellor, right? Just imagine if this guy worked at U of A, because it's very possible. But it's like he's basically skirting around the legality of what prostitution is, because it's like, no, I'm just paying for this actress to participate in a scene with me and my wife, and we're going to film it and make more money off of it. But really, at the end of the day, he's just paying for people to have appetizers in his kitchen and then bang them in his bedroom.
How soon before Guy Fieri does diners, drive-ins, and dives with pornographic film stars?
Yes. No, you got to come up with a better name.
Food Network after diners, drive-ins, and muff dives. There you go.
Yes. I like it.
perfect.
All right, we're going to keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. We'll come up with a couple more names for that series as well, because I feel like we're just scratching the surface on it. But stick around. We have more coming up right after Mammoth WVH on Rock 102.1 KFMA. clear. Yeah. What would you say? Like a variation of diners, drive-ins,
and God,
Muff Thighs was pretty solid.
I know
though,
it's hard to up that one.
Mm-hmm. And I was still technically radio friendly too. So yeah. Oh yeah.
That's good.
We teetered the line, but in a super fun way.
I'm glad.
Yeah. Jared said yes, absolutely.
Yes, Tom. Yes.
Tom confirms
Seriously,
it.
it's so good.
Yes. Todd said
can't even think of
diners,
another one.
railings, and drives. I'm like, okay. But just a little bit more of this video. Because I am a fan, and I was disappointed that they, had to pull down all their videos off YouTube, or not YouTube, Pornhub, because those are gone, right? So I know that for a fact. There is no even variation of it. They kind of scrubbed the internet because of the backlash that they're receiving. And in this piece, they talk about how their friends had like a visceral reaction, and basically their social circle, which was probably pretty, lush.
Oh yeah,
is now drying up because people are like, come on, man. Like this whole time, I
bet you these highfalutin society types, though, they have like skeletons in their closet that aren't, just vegan and porno.
But they want to keep it in the closet. I think that was the thing. They were just like, why are you making this public? We do all of our dirt behind doors.
Exactly.
What are you doing?
It's true. Yeah.
Sometimes we go to the cemetery and just whip it out.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And bang a pile of dirt. I know that's relatable to a lot of women watching this stream. I'm sure you've banged a couple dirt bags yourself. All right. Let's see. Let's watch a little bit more of this just because I want to know the recipe.
I did when it comes to stuff like that.
Sounds great. So now it's time to try this pie.
Yeah, try that pie.
Right,
Try
there you
it.
go.
Have a
There you
piece.
go.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now this looks
Thank you.
hot.
It's very hot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
That-
And the crust is
I've never
hard.
seen
Yeah, it was because
pizza
they even
like
have the porno terms going.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever seen pizza like this.
All right.
Not gonna lie, it's the first time I've ever
Try
seen
it out.
pizza.
Ready?
Okay.
Gonna hold up. That is hot.
It is hot.
Hot.
Oh,
Hot.
Yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Mmm.
Oh my god.
Tastes as good as porn star
Like it?
vagina.
It was so great if one of them bit into it and they were just like disgusting.
yeah.
This is awful.
Well, it was. I mean, vegan cheese, give me a break, dude.
Yeah, that's just
I'm
a
not having
pizza.
sex with you now.
Right. Yeah. So 17 years, Joe's a chancellor at the University of Wisconsin, and he spent around $100,000 on holidays indulging in their passion. So, this
Whoa.
was a labor of love,
Dang.
and he invested in it. So that's why the camera detail and everything was so good. And so he employed like a staff to live out his kinks and his fantasy.
Hold on. In December 2018, he got into hot water after inviting a porn actress, Nina Hartley, on campus for a lecture on adult media.
Uh-huh.
And then she's also featured in the Kung Pao Cow.
Yeah, Kung
episode.
Pao. Kung Pao. Yeah, of course she is. And
Yeah.
they've probably definitely had sex too. And this is the same reason why I end the show with a beef tip, right? So I like to give like advice, but really, as I'm giving advice to the audience, it's advice that I'm really giving to myself. And he did the same thing.
Yep.
He's like, I want to know about how to do this properly. I got to bring in a pro
Mhm.
under the
A pro.
guise. Yeah.
Yep.
Under the
Bunch of Puritans taking people's jobs is what they
Oh,
are.
Just
gosh.
a lecture. That's all it was.
Yes.
Yes. And Nina Hartley is probably like a childhood fantasy of his. So good for him for being able to do this. Now, Sexy Happy Couple is their handle on Twitter. They still
nice.
have their Twitter up. But all the explicit stuff has been wiped, and now it's all just recipes. In fact, actually, you see the screenshot where it says passion and plant powered couple cooking, conversing, and shooting with top adult stars. Visit our loyal fans and OnlyFans sites for fully explicit scenes, right? Now it reads, for vegan recipes, and that's pretty much it.
So they're just like every other vegan recipe account.
Mhm.
That's so sad. They found that angle and they just couldn't parlay it into,
And that's the point, when it comes to the internet, and especially when it comes to, whether it's adult content or just video content in general, it's about having a lane, right? And a gimmick and an angle. They had it. They had vegan. They had mature vegan couple cooking and banging popular porn stars. I mean, that's an angle.
It definitely made sense when you look at it with like just these two older people cooking for their daughter's friend and then having sex with her. So it definitely made sense to me. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure they did a lot of research on the old Brazzers.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I just went to their YouTube. Bangers and Mash is
Nice.
one.
Oh.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a writing staff for sure.
Yeah, they have to.
Gotta give it up for
crab
Oscar
cakes.
Wilde wordplay.
He invested a lot of money.
Oh,
you know?
it's not just. Oh, this one is
100,000 is-
just male. So this one's crab cakes with Damon Dice.
Oh,
So it's just a dude.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean they're equal opportunity. Look at that.
yeah.
Is it Joe banging the dude or the wife banging the dude?
I mean this is YouTube, so it's just the cooking part.
Right.
Oh.
So, this is a porn star couple.
I
So
mean,
they did the
MMF.
couples thing.
Yeah.
Again, it's all still like very Rachel Ray. And then,
They only have 3,000 subscribers on YouTube.
well, I know, but
disappointing.
that's growing. Yeah. Here's Nita
Oh, yeah.
Nita
Oh,
Hartley.
I remember her.
Yep.
Yeah. Now he denied a pay raise after he was in hot water for paying porn star Nina Hartley $5,000 to speak on campus. I guarantee you that lecture hall was full though.
Mm.
Oh,
Guarantee it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people are listening for that. So, like I said, niche. And with that in mind, like OnlyFans, like you could start an OnlyFans page tomorrow, but you're going to be lost in the sauce unless you have an angle. There's
Right.
a woman who figured this out and she's making a lot of money. Her gimmick is that she milks cows in bikinis. And
I think I saw this.
It's a good gimmick.
Yep. So I'm going to pull this up right now.
Yeah, she's a farm girl.
One girl, 6 udders.
Let's see what she looks like here.
That would be a great name.
I know,
I'm just
right?
saying, like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you already know her or you're like, oh, her? I know her.
Yeah. You're going to manage her? Let's see.
One girl, 6 udders. Of course I know her.
Yeah. Her name is Brittany Woods. She's 29 years old, and she earns triple what she did while working as a full-time, fully clothed farmer. And farmers make pretty good money.
Yeah.
And, Brittany is a pretty cute girl as well. Let's see a couple of these pictures here. One girl, 6 udders.
Sorry.
No,
it's
that's
perfect.
Do not ever apologize for that.
Yeah. All right. So here's a bigger picture.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She looks great. So, yeah. So this is what she does. And this is kind of gross. I mean, I understand the milking concept. I get what the metaphor is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean,
Definitely
look,
got to make sure that bikini's camouflage
Mhm.
yeah.
for all them rednecks.
Exactly. Or the Hunter Orange.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so she's making big bucks now with her gimmick on OnlyFans. Pre-heifer. These are called cowboy pillows, by the way. Oops. Yeah, if you didn't know.
Mm.
I didn't know that either. We learned something today. So I guess, again, the moral of everything or the underlying lesson to be learned is to get into that game. You can't just be a regular whore.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta find a specialty.
It's true.
Yes. So
But like there's the one woman that has the deformed toes that we talked about a couple weeks ago. Like, there's always got to be some kind of angle. Or again, these teachers that are having to like lean into it and then get fired to get the advertising for their OnlyFans.
Yeah, to get noticed. It's like, whoops, I just dropped that link in the school listserv. Enjoy.
My bad. That's on Parent Square now.
right. Oh, okay. Let's switch gears. We're gonna stop talking about sex things. Well, I'm gonna ask you a question. I want you guys to think about, and we're gonna go through a list of comments about red flags that you immediately notice when you walk into somebody's home. Right. So it's not dating red flags, but like say you meet somebody and you guys, network and meet a lot of comedians and then say, hey, come over to the house. You come to the house and be like, oh, this is a garbage person.
Yes.
Like, right. So think about those red flags before we get into that, though. I never share stories about something as serious and dark as sexual assault. Right. But I do want to point out just real quick, there was a horrific story of a former sheriff who was like 69 years old. He was busted for sexually assaulting a minor, right? Yeah. And apparently, like, he was one of those guys that people knew in the force very well. He spent his entire life working in the force. So when they come across this information about David Love, which is his name, that he has to he is very much a pedophile and had child pornography and everything else, then his former colleagues went to apprehend him. All right.
Oh shit.
I have a mugshot. How do you think this mugshot looks?
Oh my God. I bet he's deformed.
Nick Nolte, Gary Busey.
He
somewhere
better
in that
be
neighborhood.
deformed.
Here you go. Look at this mugshot.
God.
Now
they take care of their own.
Yeah.
Period.
So with this, the police say they don't know exactly what happened that led to this mugshot, but they did just state that he is apprehended. Now he's currently in custody. That is the mugshot immediately after apprehended by a lot of people that he was either A, boss to or B, colleagues to. And then they went to say, oh, okay, well, we got a warrant for his arrest. No worries. Who's all coming? Everybody?
Right.
All right.
There's not a space on his face that's not bruised.
Yeah.
It's all red and purple and oh my God.
Yeah, we don't know what happened. He accidentally fell out of the window. How many times? We lost count after 6.
It looks like an allergic reaction, but it's not an allergic reaction.
Yeah. And as he appeared badly bruised in his mugshot following his arrest, it is not clear how he came by the injuries.
And they never will find out.
No.
No.
That's not an investigation that we're going to put any kind of time and money into.
Nobody cleaned those billy clubs.
Also, and he probably won't say anything. He'll keep his mouth shut.
No.
I don't think he could open his mouth for 3 to 6 months.
Right.
Probably wired shut.
Yeah, dude. It is
He
done.
suddenly forgot English.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's just a lesson. And one of those odd scenarios of street justice where people are just like, okay.
Yep.
No one's asking questions. And that's the thing. It's a pass for all those cops.
Right.
Like, it's like if I have inner rage or I always hated this guy and I want to beat him within an inch of his life, I could do so, and nobody's gonna say anything about it.
Yep,
it's your green light.
Yeah,
it is totally a green light on your boss who you probably hate. So it's
I know. I mean, there's a few people that I've worked for before too that I just like wish I'd had the opportunity. We are back on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Let's switch gears here in our conversation. I recently came across a Reddit thread asking this question. I think it's a fantastic question because I think we've all been in a situation like this. The question is simple. All right. What is an immediate red flag that you would see in somebody's home? So say you're going over to somebody's house, whether you're delivering something or you're meeting a new friend or going over to a new friend's house for the first time, you see this, you know that this is a red flag and that they're probably A, don't have their act together, B, might be a garbage person, like and again, not a sanitary official, like you're just a trashy individual. So, with that said, give me a red flag that you might have come across before in the past.
If an animal is clearly not taken care of, like if it's all just kind of like just clumped fur and like, or if they have cats and like you can just see that their litter boxes haven't changed in a month, which should bowl you over as you hit the front door.
Yeah. And in fact, actually, many people agreed with that. I would consider that the number one answer on the board. If pets are not being cared for properly, like a litter box that hasn't been cleaned in like forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pets or kids.
Yeah. I've seen like
pets over kids, but just saying.
No, I have gone over to a friend's house and I'm like, I don't think that baby's diaper's been changed in like 2 days. Yeah,
that's
not
rough.
good.
Yeah, that's trash too. I mean, in dating situations, when you've been, you come across this all the time. I've definitely walked into an apartment of like a cat lady and then be like, oh my God, like everything about this like living environment that you're in is like toxic and like bad. Like, so I couldn't like jet out the door faster. It is terrifying. And that's, of course, they're not taking care of their pets if they have the numerous and just foods laying everywhere. So what would you say, Chris?
I would say when I walk in, because this kind of happened recently, I walked in and I was like, those dishes have been dirty for like a week and a half, where it's like the food is like beyond stuck on there.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, oh, this is a weird, like just environment where you're just walk past it for multiple days and you're just like, I'm not washing those dishes. Somebody else is going to deal with that. You're like, you live here alone.
Right. There is a difference between like, oh, I had a busy 2 days and didn't get to dishes.
Exactly.
And those have been there for 4 months.
Exactly.
Huge difference.
Yes, rusted through. Yeah.
Or what's worse is when people put the water in it to like soak it and then they leave it for a week and then we've discovered new species. It's disgusting.
It's like halfway down, so it's evaporated and it's just that was one I had recently where I was like, the rest of your house is pretty clean, but I could tell you're a garbage person.
Yeah. At what point are you going to just invest in paper plates, man? You know what I mean? Like, dishes aren't your thing.
I'm gonna get
Throw
him
'em
that
out.
next Christmas. I'm gonna be like, you need this.
Yeah.
Kill the environment, not your house.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you say, Dom?
So this has always weirded me out. If I see tomato sauce in a jar, I feel very uncomfortable because I grew up Italian and I didn't know tomato sauce came in a jar until I was like 9.
Okay.
Like I went to a friend's for a sleepover. My dad was like, never go back there again. Like just it broke me mentally. And then I'm like, oh, this is how people do it, not Sunday making a huge pot of red sauce.
Yeah. Now I'm kind of upset that I didn't grow up around your house. Yeah, because you had that homemade Italian marinara. Even if it's Rouse, if it's in a glass jar, it's still not good enough for you.
No, I mean you got to make it like yourself. Like I did Feast of 7 Fishes by myself this year. Made it for my mom and my girlfriend. Like 7 courses for Christmas Eve.
Yeah, well, this is why you have a girlfriend.
I was gonna say
like
he could cook. Yeah, that's why he's taken. So I'm over here eating off of paper plates, man. Come on.
Now we'll go through Dominik's marinara recipe on the stream here in a little bit, but here are a couple examples that they threw on there. A couple of these I'm actually kind of guilty of, so I got to step up my personal hygiene game. Like this one, no hand soap in the bathroom. Now I do have hand soap in the bathroom now. But when I was like a couple years ago, I remember my friend Dre coming over and he went to use the bathroom and he came out and he's like, so you got no soap, man? Like, how do you wash your hands? And I'm like, yeah, it's a good point. And then
He's like, stop shaking my hand.
yeah, no more fist bumps, nothing. I was cut off.
Yep.
So you got to get yourself some hand soap. Not having hand towels or even having clean ones.
Yeah, just towels.
Yeah. And I understand if you're like in your 20s, early 20s, or you're going through a bachelor phase and you're just learning how to do adults, you definitely, guys get a little more, leniency and more time to figure it out than women do. But the women won't stop judging you no matter if you're 19 or you're 39.
Exactly.
Trash piled up beyond the trash can.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Right. Because it's like, yeah, you're too lazy to even take out the trash. This one, a dirty toilet.
Clean your toilets. It's so gross.
Why are you gagging, man?
Because they're talking about gross things.
Well, these are again red flags if you walk into somebody's home, and just imagine a situation, whether it's dating or just colleague or friend, and you walk in, you see this immediately, and then you kind of know, like, okay, well, they seemed like a nice person, but I was 100% wrong.
Yeah, no, if I see like their house like this, especially like the dishes thing, and like they brought something to the potluck at work, I'm not eating that.
Yep.
Oh, right. Yeah. Just like,
I'm
where
gonna get
is that been?
salmonella.
Yeah.
Or if it's like an extra dirty bathroom where you're just like, oh, you don't even attempt to clean this up.
Right.
Like,
I haven't even tried once.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, and well, hoarding. So here's a couple more that on there. This one was one better for decor, like anything in excess. Somebody I would complain about. Unsecured guns made the list. So
I mean,
yeah.
those are like obvious ones.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Right.
Kids running around with guns without the safety on.
Yeah.
And a 3-day-old diaper.
Jesus,
this friend's really coming together.
Yeah. Now, all these, of course, are all horrible red flags. The final one I think is kind of funny and not as bad technically as all the other ones, but can still be lumped in with everything else that we said. We're talking about like pets not being taken care of, kids not being taken care of, you not taking care of your own hygiene in your house, having dirty toilets, hoarding, all that, or having a sign that says live, laugh, love.
Oh, yeah, I'm out. I'm out.
Oh, no.
Same difference. We're keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. There you're going to see a donkey get super excited about a rubber chicken. We have more coming up after 9 Inch Nails and Rock 102.1 KFMA. Keep it right here. It's Rock. I already said that. So close to being a smooth transition, but I wasn't lying about this donkey video. I want to show you something that's going to make you super happy because we covered, obviously people losing their jobs over pornography and pedophiles getting their ass beat. Let's lighten it up.
I like a good donkey video.
Now this is a donkey that's
Afternoon, donkey. I got you something in the mail. Afternoon, donkey.
Of rubber chickens.
Oh.
This donkey loves rubber chickens so much so you could visibly see the excitement when it's gifted a rubber chicken, and the sounds he makes is full blown, donkey centric. So, let's see. I'm gonna play it like this. All right, so here's the donkey. And
I got you something in the mail today from New York. Say hi to Phoebe first. Phoebe. He doesn't really love it. You see what I got under my arm? Do you see it? Are you ready for this? Oh my goodness.
That donkey is mouthy.
I know.
Yeah.
What? What's this from?
It sounds like the fat kid running in Little Giants.
Is it big?
Oh.
Chicken.
Look at his ears.
Oh.
Oh, man. The donkey actually nodded yes.
Yeah, seriously.
Isn't that insane?
Oh my God, he's so smart.
So smart. Well, I mean, as smart as you can to be a rubber chicken enthusiast.
However smart a jackass can be.
See that? That was worth the replay. I just wanted to replay one more time.
Yeah.
You, smarter than a dog. Let's see, just one more time, just because I'm seeing it nod the first time was mind blowing to me.
It really is.
You think the Wisconsin vegan couple's gonna have this donkey on as a guest?
No, they're vegan. Come on, man.
Well, I mean, that means they're not going to drink it, but
they will have sex with it.
Yeah. And I think the
Look how
donkey's going to do the
excited he
same
is.
thing. Yeah. Just like a dog. Get nuts. I mean, again, this is called a palate cleanser. It's super fun.
Are donkeys the ones that are sterile? Just asking for the vegan cooking show.
Oh, yeah. I don't think so.
I think it's mules because it's a horse and a donkey.
Okay, yeah.
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 Nice.
Seventh grade biology.
Yep.
How's about them animals?
I learned something new today.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, that was super fun to see that donkey. It makes you kind of want to go get a donkey, so like as a pet. I don't know if I could have one in my condo, but let's see. Hold on, I got to switch up my 9 Inch Nails song. Let's see. I want to do
The breathing, and your neighbors are like, dude, you really got to lose weight. It's getting to be a problem.
Yeah, it's not me, it's my donkey.
Yeah. Stop referencing that movie. We don't think it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, no, I actually have a donkey in here.
Yeah, mules, you got that. Okay, good. And then I had like a hole on for as far as my 9 Inch Nails.
Ooh.
Tell me before we get back on the air, Dominik, what is your marinara, or you pronounce it marinara, or you just call it sauce?
I just call it sauce.
Yeah. So
Red sauce.
what's your sauce recipe?
So San Marzano tomatoes and just a lot of seasoning and some tomato paste. And it's just, basic. I could give away the seasoning, but
So you put tomato paste along with the tomatoes in there?
Yeah.
And then a bunch of seasoning?
Yeah.
Basil, things like that?
Yeah. Basil, oregano, garlic salt. I throw some garlic in there, a little bit of sugar,
Yeah. Now, do you slice up the garlic real thin so it's like
a razor blade, just like Goodfellas in prison? Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, what about your technique in picking the tomatoes? Is it all about trying to find a good tomato?
I guess tomatoes is pretty good. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I've never made
but
sauce.
I mean, just a little bit
Here,
firm for me, and then just kind of really slicing them up. Good.
Yeah, when you slice them, you keep the skin and everything on. What do you just slice them into quarters, eighths?
No, even smaller than that. Just kind of get a really good sauce going with the paste. So
Okay, so you kind of like dice it up.
yeah.
Okay, diced tomatoes,
And then
tomato
some-
paste,
Yep.
water,
A little bit.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, and lots of garlic. Okay.
Yeah, lots of garlic.
It's something that I mean, as I'm in my 40s, I've never made a homemade sauce, a red sauce. I know.
Yeah,
And
me neither.
I know.
No.
But that's something that's almost kind of like a bucket list thing that you want to do because it could be great. And also, it always looks like a pleasurable experience.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I make my own Alfredo too. It's really easy.
Well, Alfredo's easy. I've made the
Yeah.
Alfredo. And that's just the fat boy in me. It's better to
Me too.
the healthier of the sauces is obviously the red sauce.
You put onion in it?
No onion, no.
Okay.
No onions in the sauce. Like to put onions in the sauce.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
No,
There's too
God,
many
no.
onions in the sauce.
Too many onions.
Is that one of the things? That's the saying?
That was from Goodfellas.
Okay, yeah. No. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I have to my fettuccine Alfredo, as I'm just thinking about sauces, and see if you kind of do the same. It's whipping cream.
Yep.
All right, butter,
Yes.
and then
course.
Parmesan cheese, and
Yep.
That's
that's
it.
it.
That's
Yeah,
it.
That's
And then
all you
pepper,
need.
of course. Yeah.
Oregano. I like to put I love garlic, just a big spoonful.
Yeah.
I'd say a couple tablespoons full.
Yep.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's garlic.
It's so rich, but so good.
Yes.
I grew up on that, and that's a family recipe of mine. My go-to signature dish, if I'm going to impress a girl, is chicken piccata.
Nice.
And it used to be accompanied by fettuccine alfredo because I grew up on that. But that's a very heavy meal. So then I switch it up to more like a greens, like a sauteed greens, so I don't make it so heavy. But my piccata, I'm proud of that, and that's a family recipe.
Nice.
In a way that like it's my dad's recipe, but he stole it from TGI Fridays. And now
that's the greatest family recipe I've ever heard.
Exactly, because he worked as a cook at TGI Fridays and had a cookbook, and we literally had that cookbook in our pantry for about 20 years, and to where I memorized this recipe and have it locked down. Now TGI Fridays
I
are
was
shut
going to
down.
say, is it like still open? Because I haven't heard about them in forever.
They recently, just this week, shut down 30 of them.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Now,
Damn.
fortunately, they did it on a Saturday, not to ruin
Well, I mean,
the theme. Yeah.
well, you got to fly the flag at half mast on Fridays.
That's true.
Yeah, they didn't see it coming. It's but yeah, so yeah, it seems like it's the end of TGI Fridays, which is a shame because I thought that was always like a great chain restaurant growing up. Like what makes TGI Fridays more sustainable than Chili's?
Well, I was just going to say, are we going to start seeing Chili's and Applebee's starting to close? Because I don't really see people going to those restaurants, but I don't know. I don't really hang out with those people that go to those restaurants. So that's all I have to say.
I've never been to a TGI Fridays.
I've been to a TGI Fridays. I used to go to the Applebee's all the time. That was right over there because they had super cheap drinks.
Yes.
But that's
The
that will get,
Dollaritas.
yes, that will get anybody into any kind of, it doesn't matter what the bar is. There's like, we have the cheapest drinks. You're like, I'm there.
Right. Yeah. And, I had this, Applebee's. Well, what's good about Applebee's is that they're open late, right? So a lot of people work in the restaurant industry. They will go to the Applebee's after the fact, after their shift ends to grab drinks and appetizers and all that. What are you looking up on the computer, Weirdo?
Just looking at the freaking Starbucks thing that we were talking about earlier.
What Starbucks thing?
The different sizes that I didn't realize they had an extra small and an extra large until yesterday.
All right, you can share that on the air here.
Okay.
Rock 102.1 KFMA. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
This has definitely consumed you, and you're very excited about this.
Yeah. So I found an article about like the history of like Starbucks and their drink sizes, right? Because it's not just small, medium, large.
Which I thought, then Venti, which
right,
is
they do tall, grande, venti, so it's 12, 16, and 20 respectively. But there is a short, which is only 8 ounces, and then there's a Trenta, which is polar pop size at 30 freaking ounces.
Trenta? Oh my
Need
gosh.
of 30 ounces.
Do you think that's legit? Because
It is legit.
honestly,
It says available for select beverages. And it was because my kid yesterday went to Starbucks and comes home with this ginormous, like, not reusable cup. And I was like, what the hell is in there? Like, it's a Tristan. And then I was like looking it up. It's Trenta.
That's 30 in Italian. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
Okay, you speak
Venti's
fluent.
20, right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. They try to keep it all Italian. Oh, this is about 30 ounces. My little iced
32
coffee
ounces,
from
yeah.
Dunkin'. Yeah.
Yeah, but Dunkin' doesn't brag about it.
No,
You know?
they don't
They're
need to.
just-
They don't
yeah.
need to be cool and put it in different language.
They're
They're
just
like
Dunkin'.
30.
Yeah.
Right. Punch you in the face.
Diabetes.
What's 40 in Italian?
He's counting.
Trentuno, Trento, Tre, Quattro, Cinque, Sei. It's Quin or Quan. Oh God, it's Quan something.
That's
I haven't
pretty
taken
good,
Italian
Dominic.
since college.
Quaranta.
Yeah, Quaranta. That's it.
Quaranta.
Cinquanta's 50. So yeah.
Dude, I rarely
All right.
ever meet a Northern Italian, right? That could speak and understand a fluent Italian. Did you grow up in Italy?
No, no. My dad's family moved to Denver from South America. So they live in South America for like 50, 100 years before they came to the States.
Okay.
From Italy. And no,
So-
they never grew up speaking it either. I'm like the first one to like take it in school because like when I was a kid, like when you like I always just assume when they would talk slang and stuff like that, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're like mentally handicapped. And then I watch The Sopranos and I'm like, oh, they're just Italian people. Like
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunately the only Italian words that I basically know I can't even repeat on the air because my mom would only do the curse words.
Oh, exactly. Some of those are fun.
Yes, yeah, Italian curse words are super fun, but you took it upon yourself to say, I want to learn more. So have you been in a situation where you've been able to conversate with an Italian person speaking fluently?
No, not at all. I wasn't. I think I took 3 years worth in college. That was about it. I mean, I know, how to have a simple conversation, but no one else I knew could speak it. So
have you ever utilized it as part of your game? You know, like, is it like an attractive trait? Because you got to assume, like, weirdo, is that an attractive language and accent?
I am somebody that is attracted to anybody that can speak multiple languages, period. But as far as like Italian, French, sexy.
I can speak Klingon, so.
And as somebody with a Star Trek tattoo.
Oh, there you go.
How's it going, buddy?
Well, then, weirdo, you don't count in this equation because you're attracted to too many types.
Mhm.
I'll tell you this. I don't know if
That's why I'm
Klingon,
poly.
yeah, I don't know if Klingon's ever going to be a deal sealer.
Yes.
I would just love like when you call into those lines where it's like English or Spanish, there's an option for Klingon.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
there's
you pull cons.
right. There's like a couple universities now that teach that as an official language is Klingon.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I mean, if you're going to teach like Sanskrit or any dead language, why not Klingon?
Right.
Like, you're paying to be there.
Yeah.
It's technically more alive than Latin.
Yes.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, it's not going to help you get a job anyways. And AI is going to speak Klingon for you better. You know, that's another thing to look forward to.
When you get drunk, is your Italian worse or better?
You know what it sounds like? I'll never forget the first day I took Italian, the first day we were going around the room, and I had just been out heavily drinking the night before. And like my voice gets super grovelly.
Yeah.
So when we had to say buongiorno, I basically sounded like Brad Pitt in Inglourious Bastards.
Buongiorno.
Yeah.
Buongiorno.
Yeah.
Just the worst.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Just the absolute worst. I'm like, I got nothing left.
I like that question, though, because when I'm in Mexico and like Rocky Point and I'm drinking, I get to past the point where I'm almost fluent. Yeah.
Well,
so,
you get confident and you don't care about your mistakes, and you're just like, whatever. Like, stop harping on that. You know, let's have some fun. And that's why I was asking, because a lot of people say that where once they get drunk and they just like don't feel self-conscious about all of these mistakes that they think they're making, and they're just literally just start talking, and you're like, yep, that's what you need.
Dude, that's my German. I'm serious. One time I navigated across Berlin completely shit-faced and brought a friend home. My buddy got way too hammered. I navigated the bus systems. I don't know how my third grade German made it, but I did it.
See, it's in there, you know, and it takes a certain amount of alcohol to bring it out. So subconsciously, you filed that information.
Exactly.
Yeah. I am like a genius when I'm blackout drunk. I mean, that's what I've been told. We got to keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. Your beef tips coming up right after this is Rock 102.1 KFMA.
So there is a debate between us and our teenager because they're taking Spanish. And she's really self-conscious about putting an accent because she's like, now it makes me sound racist. I'm like, no, you have to add the dialect and the accent because then because how many people speak in broken English and they're kind of their native accent, it's harder to understand. So we've been trying to like explain that to her.
And that's not racist. That's like literally the way the word should sound, because it's going to sound off if you're not rolling your R's or if you're not.
Exactly.
You know,
you're making an attempt. Like there's a total difference between like being offensive and just trying.
Right.
You know, so no. That's not bad at all.
No.
Right. No. It just when you say, like, if you're talking about somebody like, hey, I saw this Asian guy the other day, and then he was like,
exactly.
Yeah. And see, I stopped myself.
Right. Oh, I almost
because
picked
this
it up.
is
I was
on
like,
the internet.
Yes. Just like, did you want me to pick that up?
And the internet is forever.
Yeah. All right. Let's. This is a story that you could have reported on the air, but let's get back to dirty talk, I guess. So we got a running theme, and it's our niche. Someone near Oklahoma City has been using a drone to drop attach sex toys to streetlights and other hard to reach spots. So basically,
that's awesome.
Oh my God, he needs a freaking Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, and this situation is 100% a prank, as opposed to like the penis Banksy. Which I thought, what's his Wanksy is what they call it.
Oh no.
Yeah, this
is he the guy that throws them on?
No, Wanksy is this is in the UK, some area where potholes were such a problem in the community that this guy who goes by the name Wanksy decided to spray paint penises around the potholes to force the city
to fix them.
Yeah, to cover them up, and he's doing God's work. This one is a little bit more different and an odd hobby and prank to pull off. The first sighting was last Wednesday when someone called the cops about an adult toy stuck on the top of a traffic light. Right, and those are eagle eye people who were able to see that. Yeah. Then another person put one on top of a water tower and then stuck another to the side of a Walmart. Yeah. Now it
Yeah,
sounds
that's
like
awesome.
Yeah,
I
it's-
mean, if you're gonna do it, Walmart's the place.
let's look at some of these pictures because we got to appreciate this work here. This is on Twitter, and so this one you can barely see it right here, but it's a little sex toy right up there, up top. Let's see if I can go full screen.
Oh my god!
Almost
it's-
looks like a little bird.
Yep.
I swear this is like Where's Waldo of sex toys.
Yes.
Oh, I see it.
All right, so this one, this one's
I
a little
found 'em.
thicker.
Yes.
On top of the water tower. This one, it was easier to
Oh,
recognize.
a rainbow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very nice.
On top of it, and again, very difficult to balance that. And these are suction sex toys. So they're using the drone to fly into these impossible situations where the city officials with ladders or fire department can come out and
Right. It's a
and
whole
grab
protocol
this.
to get that down.
You feel like the military sees this and goes, "We got use for this person."
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We got a job
I mean, if
for
you,
you.
if you can put a butt plug on a sign, well, we've got some stuff for you to do.
My God, that looks artistic.
It really does.
Well, yes, that one is a rainbow too, and that's a Walmart that it's on the side of. So yes, and
It's like rainbow chrome.
twig and berries, the whole nine. It's been going this. So this has just been happening for about a week. but
This is
of
in
course-
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Man.
Yes, but I think you're absolutely right. It does showcase a skill set.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that is probably even like a great job that it will pay well here in the future if you're a good drone pilot. Of course, the military wants that.
Well, if we ever need anybody to blow up the Death Star, we know who we're going to call because he's
Mhm.
going to shoot them right in there.
Precise.
Yep.
Yeah, because to get it to stick.
That too.
And you got to assume it's probably at nighttime that he's pulling this off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it's a he. This doesn't seem like on brand with female humor. But
I mean, my humor, but yeah.
you're not a normal chick.
But it's like the CIA and the FBI, like
Yeah.
hiring hackers to beat other hackers. Like this would be perfect.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So the more police department does not condone the actions of this individual, which
But
is
they're,
official.
but they're giggling
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh man, are they laughing?
This is a statement, and they say they find the prank inappropriate. They're trying to figure out who's doing it and whether to arrest them or just issue a fine. And I don't think they're gonna. If this continues to grow in popularity, I don't think they're going to be able to arrest this person because it's basically like the Robin Hood of dildo pranks.
It's like that Super Bowl, remember back in Tucson when they showed that porno for like a 10-second clip after the Fitzgerald touchdown?
Yes.
It's like that type of prank almost. Where
That guy went to jail for it.
He did, which is crazy. And he put it at the most like important part
I
of the
know, it
game,
was
which is just
ridiculous.
like ballsy, sir.
Yep.
Yeah. How long did he go to jail? Do you remember?
No, I just know he went to jail.
You want to pull it up, weirdo?
Which one?
The guy who hacked the football game at the Super Bowl and put some porn in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Super
that was
Bowl.
Was that against the Steelers?
Yeah, it was 43.
Yeah,
It was.
That's how
It
you
was
do.
against the
Oh,
Steelers
no,
because
I
we've
know.
had this conversation in my household because we have Steeler fans in the house.
My
Tom's a Steeler fan.
I
so.
didn't see it, but I just remember getting my phone exploding with people like who had, because it was like on, I guess, on the non-HD channel.
Yes.
that it happened.
Yes.
So
Yeah, my parent. I watched it with my parents, so it was fun. You know,
Yeah.
that's always a fun one.
it's a
It's just like
conversation
10
starter.
seconds.
He's like 20,
It was,
10.
yeah.
Like,
Yes, exactly.
Oh, what the hell?
It's just like, what?
That's amazing.
Did we press play on the VCR?
Just that
Yeah.
meat spinning.
We're back on the air, Rock on 2.1 KFMA. But I'm sure you thought to yourself while that was happening, like, man, these Super Bowl commercials keep pushing the envelope.
Yes.
You
I'm
know?
supposed
that
to
was-
buy Ruffles.
Yeah.
That was my favorite one of that year. So I'm just saying.
Sure. Unfortunately, we're almost out of time. The time does fly by, but this again, this is going to be an open door policy. I hope to have both Chris Quinn and Dominik. You say your Italian last name again. Ditola back again over and over again. 2024.
Please,
they both have a great video podcast that you can watch on demand on Spotify and YouTube simply by searching the Sports Experience podcast. So go ahead and check that out and subscribe if you're on YouTube and Spotify to be updated. When do you normally drop episodes?
Wednesday. Every Wednesday we drop one. So today there should be a new one coming out.
At what time?
Probably noon, depending on when our producer gets up and puts it on. So
Okay, that's
it's,
good. And of course, you guys are stand-up comedians as well. The next stand-up show you're going to be doing at the Screening Room is
February 10th. It's going to be the Downtown Comedy Show. Come on out. It's going to be a bunch of some of the best local comics, and then hopefully a touring comic if he ever gets back to me. So
Yes, I know
we'll
how
see.
that is.
Yes.
I know how that is. So, always excellent shows at the screening room. So I got to talk to you about all the shows that you have coming up on the screening room, but we'll have you back on here soon. Before we leave you guys, I'll give you a beef tip. And my beef tip is for anyone who's going to be flying soon. Now, our good friend Rico flying all the way to Southeast Asia.
He's on a plane right now.
Yeah, and hopefully, if he's a fan of pretzels and wanted extra pretzels, that he wore red. Because the report claims wearing red when you fly can help you make your travel days smoother and less anxiety-inducing. And the idea is that airline staff will be more attentive and might even give you favorable treatment, including extra pretzels. Yeah.
Okay, then.
Just by wearing red.
All right.
Yeah. So the next time that you're going to fly, if you want to have less anxiety and you want to get that favorable treatment, make sure you put on your favorite red shirt and see what happens.
Man, Target employees are making out.
Yeah. I know.
What color do you wear for Mile High Club?
Oh, yeah. That's an excellent question. I
Mhm.
don't have the report on that.
Still doing research.
Yeah. But all right, that's your beef tip. That's all the time we have for the show today. Again, the Sports Experience podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to that. New episode dropping today at noon. Tomorrow morning, Mari and Herb Stratford is going to be in studio, and we're going to continue to give away tickets for Bush. Till then, Robin Nash is up next. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish
Thanks,
upon
Roger,
a side of beef, soon will come an end to all your grief. But if you've been mean or kind of bad,
And Weirdo, say
I will
Babuski.
knock out all your teeth.
See you louder.